you clicked on this video, you might be one of the few who are interested in my gear setup video for the upcoming gameplay I'll more than likely be uploading this weekend. The loadout I'm going over in specific is not my only loadout. This is my speed outdoor loadout that also allows me to stay quiet, silent, and invisible if need be. Obviously, we'll go over all the stuff on the table. I'm not going to go over the uniform that I'm wearing just because, it's a shirt and a pair of fucking pants. I will show you the shoes I'm going to use because they're pretty sick. So let's get right to the loadout, and then we'll talk about all the excess gear. First is the primary, my speed build KCO2. I want to address the elephant in the room. No, the barrel doesn't run directly through this guy. If I unscrew the suppressor, you will notice it's extremely short. Now, contrary to how short it is, it actually does hop up to 0.4s, maybe even a little higher, and it shoots with 0.2s at 400 FPS. The stock itself, I purchased off of someone on the Heavy Recoil Discord. It is sawed off on the front and on the back for extra maneuverability. I throw the suppressor on because I like the way it looks, and when the front sticks out of bushes, if I'm hiding in a tree or an area of grass, it helps cover me up a little bit. Now, inside of this kicker, I do have an upgraded barrel and an upgraded hop unit. Everything else on this build is stock. I got a rail with a hell of a lot of real estate up top. And it also has a nice adjustable hop-up wheel that in case I decide I want to adjust the hop-up while I'm on the field, I can do so. I run this red dot sight. It's by Primary Arms. I don't know how much it cost. It actually came with an F90 that I purchased off of someone on the hop-up app. And I do like it a lot because it's got the flash guard on it. So in the event that I get shot by a BB, it's not going to shatter the glass. Before I get into the camera on the front, it does block my view a little bit, but not enough to where it's an actual problem. I'll try and show you the reticle that it's got on it. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up. I'll try and go to a lower light setting. Anyways, it's one of those half moon shapes with a dot in the center. It's got a ton of different settings depending on the time of day. The camera up in the front is the Navrich Clip Cam. Now, I don't have a run cam. I wish I did. The clip cam actually works perfectly for me, though, because a lot of the time I'm just filming on the GoPro that I'll get to in a minute. The clip cam is when I get some extensively long-range shots. It's nice to have a 13-second or so clip that I can get on video. And the camera quality is in 4K, which isn't bad. We'll get to my magazine pouch in a second, too, but I just run the standard KCO2 mags. I know there's a couple different options. You can get the Navrich Banana mags. They have some shorties and stuff, but I just run these guys because they fit nice in the pouch. Moving on to my secondary, something that's relatively reliable, and it also allows me to run full auto on it, is the Navrich SSP-18. First thing is the holster. This is off the Navrich website. This is their universal holster. It allows me not only to use my SSP-18 when I want to, but I can also get an AAP-01 in here if you adjust it. You can get a Tokyo Marui Extreme 45 in here as well, and those are the only pistols that I've tried. Obviously, any Glock replicas will work, and anything you purchase from the Navrich website. It's just nice, it's easy. It's one of those like thicker Kydex style holsters with a pointer finger release, and it just sits on my belt on the right side. The pistol itself has a ton of upgrades on it, or aftermarket parts from the Navrich team. Inner barrel, thread protector, the slide, the trigger, the magwell. And if you open this guy up, you'll see it even has the reinforced hammer because I do run this quite a bit in full auto. Now, a few of the reasons that I chose this pistol is because, one, I enjoy Glocks, and I have a lot of Glock magazines. I think I have 11 or 12 to be exact. And the nice part about the Navrich Glock, as opposed to your average VFC Glocks or your Tokyo Marui Glocks, is that unlike those guys where the barrel is wobbly or free, like your standard Glock system, this barrel is much more stable, so you get some more accurate shots. Another reason I went with the SSP-18 is because it does have the fire selector mode, so I can go from semi to fun mode. The fun mode is great because when I see someone in a bush or I see a group of people, I can switch this guy straight to full auto, and I can clear out that area nice and easy without trying to worry about being the most accurate with my shots. Moving on to my chest rig. You'll notice this monstrous chest rig I have here. I got this from Navrich as well. It's just the chest rig and then the little fanny pouch in the bottom. It does weigh a decent bit. Woo! I'm fucking destroying all my stuff here, eh? Once it's on your chest, it's not that bad. So first of all, you got to customize your chest rig, right? Hashtag undownloads it and piss on it. This is from my buddy. He 3D printed this. Stupid Airsoft, so it's got to be stupid. And then we have our little clone dude over here. This is just another spot for me to mount my GoPro. You'll see a few of these coming up in the video. Now, inside of the chest rig, we got all of our mags. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mags for the Glock, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 on the gun, so 6 mags for the KCO2. I wish I had more KCO2 mags. I don't at the moment. I do intend to get some more, because I don't need this many Glock mags when I'm playing outdoor. I do, however, run a bunch of them when I'm playing indoor. I fill out this whole set with it too, so I can reload a ton, because I think reloading's fun. The nice part about the Novice chest rig is they have all this real estate for Molly, so I could stick a side pouch on here if I wanted. And then I also have a grenade, which tends to be better on indoor because it's one of those contact grenades. So whenever it hits something, it actually blows up. And this mount is 3D printed. Just press it, it pulls off, and it locks in on the bottom. Now this grenade in particular is the Storm Apocalypse grenade. It's a tornado style grenade. It holds, I think, 150 BBs or 100 BBs or something like that. You fill it with green gas, it is reusable, and it's extremely durable from what I've gotten out of it so far. All of the BBs feed right in here. It does have a lock on the top. Recommend using the cheapest, dirt cheap BBs that you can find, even if you want to try and grab some that are already used and wash them, because, again, you're just draining BBs with this guy. Now, the problem is it needs to hit a solid surface. Even if it lands on grass, most of the time it's going to wind up going off. The only problem with grass, as opposed to like a concrete or a wooden surface, is when it hits, if it's cushioned, sometimes it gets stuck in the grass and it won't bounce around and spin. But if it hits concrete, it'll land on the concrete at like an indoor map or in a wooden building, and it'll bounce. And while it bounces, it spews gas and spins all over the place. And that is reusable, so it tends to be a little bit on the cheaper side. But again, unless it's going inside of a building or something, it's not the best option. But that's not a big deal. I just like to have an option in case I'm going to breach a room or something and there's people in there and I don't feel as though I have the ability to clear the room or clear the area without myself accidentally getting tagged. It just sits bottom first, top, and again, just to get it off, it's such an easy move and it doesn't go anywhere. Now, the GoPro that I use is the Hero 15. I don't know that there's much difference between this and some of the more recent models. I just like this because it's very user-friendly and I can upload it straight to an app. And the mount that I have that I mounted on my shoulder with, that kind of gives it more of like the third-person Call of Duty feel, is off Amazon. It's called Adaptum. It's cool because it's got the clip, so you can clip it anywhere, and this is actually a relatively firm clip. It's also got this ball joint that you can adjust the twist or the direction that it faces, and then obviously the mounting mechanism where even you can, besides the ball joint, adapt how much it looks up or down. I tend to run this on my left shoulder, or at least I'm going to be trying that this time. Now the headgear that I wear, we'll get into the backpack in just a second, but the headgear that I wear is also from Novice. This is all amber camo. Notice I have another GoPro mount on the top in case I choose to switch the GoPro positioning at some point. But this is just a nice leaf-covered boonie. It does hide you when people are running past, at least from what I've noticed. Lastly, we have this bag, the bag that carries all of my other gear inside of it. I want to get into this guy. This is a Wolfpack mini backpack. I do use the Novice low profile goggles. I did paint them as well. I got this face mesh. This is by NB Tactical. The great part about this face mesh, as opposed to other face meshes, is it doesn't actually have a strap on it, and it's very low profile to protect the nose and the mouth. And it's only held in by the NB Tactical Shiesty, which is very breathable. The only downside is if it's not the most durable fabric. I've had some rips on it and stuff. Granted, I've had this guy for over a year now. As long as you're not putting it in the dryer, it should last you quite some time. It can be kind of pricey though. I think this gets up to like 40, 50 bucks. And for a shiesty and a little face mesh, it's kind of ridiculous. But the nice part about it is you can really get low and close to your gun, especially if like you're sniping or something and you got to get that cheek rest and really get close to the scope. This is the best face mask for you. I just used these mechanics gloves. At some point down the road, I had made a custom shotgun that needed my fingernails in order to unload and load the shells, so I unfortunately cut these 2 finger holes off. I wish I didn't, because getting shot in the fingers sucks. Just a cheap pair of gloves. Now for the Glock, I tend to run .2s or 2.5s. Today I'll be running .2s. And .4s for the KCO2. Go a little deeper. I have Super Lube, which is multi-purpose synthetic grease. This is the best stuff to lube your gas blowback guns, at least from what I've found. And then I have this novice toolkit. It's important to bring a toolkit with you in case you got to do any teching on the field, because sometimes shit breaks and you don't want to bring a backup gun. I do like the novice kit. However, you're going to notice it's not really great with some abuse. It doesn't seem like it's the strongest bits in the world, but they do work if you're not abusing them. I unfortunately abused the shit out of them. Unfortunately, the magnet inside of here is busted. I'm no professional with tools and stuff, but the problem that I found was the magnet on the inside of the screw makes direct contact with the bottom of whatever bit you're using. And due to that, unfortunately, the magnet over time just breaks, wears down, and gets destroyed. So that's no longer magnetic. But again, on the field, it's the best thing that you can possibly have. It's just some sort of a small toolkit, and I like how many bits this comes with. And it was only like 15, 20 bucks or something. So it's not the most expensive thing in the world. The last thing that I'd like to show you is the shoes that I wear. I purchased them new, and I wanted to use them for other things like fishing and hiking and whatnot. Outdoors work. If I'm working outside, I'm not worried about needing a steel toe. These are the Barefoot Jungle Boots. Now, why did I choose these? They come from the Barefoot Shoe Company. Now, the few nice things is I do wear the barefoot shoes on a daily basis, and I like how they have a nice wide toe box, so it allows your feet to form a nice solid arch. It's all the benefit of a boot, mobility of a sneaker. Is that not sick? I think the military should switch to these, not gonna lie. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Shoot me a follow if you want to see the gameplay that's coming up. But for now, go shoot some fuckers.